Hey Zero AD community, what's up? So we got for you today a Trey v Trey. That's 3v3. So we got teams ones in the east. Northeast we have Mr. Facts, my homie, playing the ghouls. He's building a, farmstead. We have myself playing as the Kushites, also building a farmstead. In the southeast, we have Guirre, playing as the Britons, also building a farmstead, blessed with a pair of apple trees right by the berries, so that is a beautiful boon of food first thing in the beginning of the game. Very, very lucky. Team 2, we have Shinnik playing as the, is it Macedonians? Spartans. I always mess up Macedonians, Spartans, and Athenians for whatever reason. Grabbing the berry upgrade, smart move. Clearing the wood close by the Civic Center and building their first house. We have djesus, building women 2 at a time, playing as the Romans in Zavest. And also grabbing the berry upgrade, also blessed with an apple tree. We have, this is Spartans, right? No, no, I don't know, tell me. Spartans, okay, I got it the first time. No farmstead for 0 AD pot in the northwest. We do have an immediate storehouse, though, despite these trees very close to the Civic Center. Man, I don't understand it, but bless his heart. Also, I don't understand. So, why wouldn't you build a farmstead when you have 2 apple trees right by your berries, and the berry upgrade is so good in terms of just, how fast you get that food in your bank account? Back to facts, we got... Yeah, the berry upgrade. What is this upgrade? Harvesting machine. That's very interesting. The Gauls get that, I guess. I wonder, do the Britons get that? I know the Britons have a building that you can build around your farms that makes you farm faster. Not sure if they still have it. Probably. It would be a silly thing to take out because I really like it as a feature. I don't know. I kind of want to try out. I really want to try out playing a Civ other than the Kushites soon. But, every time I'm about to start a game, I'm just I know I have a better chance playing with the Kushites, so I always just, go back to what I know. But yeah, I want to try the Marians, gathering the berries in the hunt from all around the map with the worker elephants. That shit's so fucking cool. So many cool strats with cool different civs, but I stick to what I know and love. Speaking of which, here I am in the east, gathering the wood close to the Civic Center. My horsey is done with the chickens, so I'm probably going to send him to scout soon. I'm always the teammate who sends the cav all the way around the perimeter of the map to put myself in harm's way in order to gather intel about the enemies. I have 6 women on Jaberis. I did not get apple trees the way that a lot of the other players in this game did. But, oh, look at that. I did get all of these extra berries. Do I actually know about those yet? Yes, I do know about them. Probably because of Facts, actually, and his scouting. But I hope I can see them, but I hope I actually saw them. Down here. Oh, who's building cav? Because I know that there's a lot of early skirmishes and raiding and rushing and whatnot that takes place in this game. I watched the replay at 20 times speed before I decided to cover it, to make a video of it. So I know that this flank, this front line has a lot of action that takes place throughout the game. So yeah, damn, I guess I either didn't notice the berries or I must not have noticed them, because if I had, there's no chance I would be having all these women building the farms already. Guirre is very high very far ahead. I'm actually coming in dead last in terms of population, but that's not super surprising. I tend to, in the early game, like lag behind in terms of population because I almost never build batches until like later in the game because I like to float extra resources. I'm floating more resources than almost anyone. I love to float those extra resources early on because you can nab upgrades with them. What do you call it? We have another farmstead over here, grabbing the extra apples. Very early choice to move on to stone this early in phase 1 for Guirre. But the reason for that undoubtedly is because he can build a shit ton of slingers with that stone. Slingers, half of the wood cost is diverted to stone. Actually, more than half. So yeah, you can do a lot because slingers are very fast moving units. They have a huge range. Their range is halfway between that of a skirmisher and an archer. And they can destroy buildings. So they're extremely useful for an early rush. You could like easily take out an enemy's barracks in phase 1. There's so many different things you could do with slingers. That's another reason, like, Kushites don't get fucking slingers. I would fucking love to experiment with a slinger civ for sure. I've played the Gauls only like 1 or 2 times ever, actually. There has been a kill. Shinnik has killed Guirre's cav, I'm assuming. Yeah, I really need to keep an eye on the mini-map for sure. We have the transition to farming, and Shinnik has gotten that first farming upgrade. Very good, very good. Also the woodcutting upgrade. Love it when people stay on top of their upgrades. That's like such a huge priority for me in my gameplay. Oh shit, we had another unit get killed. This time 0AD Pot killed one of Guirre's units. So far Team 2 has the kills. All right, we have this wood line very far away from the front line. Very safe move from djesus. Interesting layout of houses. No buildings touching one another. Very opposite to how I do things. I make long lines of buildings. This is 0AD Pot in the northwest, building their first farm, and they are migrating their skirmishers over to this very, very dense, plentiful wood line. This is actually their first... No, they've had this wood line going. Also, very safe wood line to be operating from. We do have a farmstead. It's facts building out towards my territory. I got mixed up. I was going to say that this was an aggressive move, but he's building out towards my territory, not the enemy. His flank is over here. So this very dense wood line where 0AD Pod is gathering wood. The trees will soon become soaked with blood, as we will come to see. And, okay, so I did not take advantage of those berries, but Mr. Fax did, so they did not go to waste. Okay, 0AD Pot is in Fax's territory, but he is just passing through with these 4 horsemen who are perhaps skirmishers. Let me see. Why can't I just select one of them, please? That's really annoying. I want to select one because I want to figure out what it actually is. Raiding cavalry. So that would be Javelineer Cav. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm coming so far in behind with my population. It's fucking wild to me. djesus is the first one moving up to phase 2. He's also building a second barracks at the moment. Yeah, these guys are just chilling out here. I don't know what the plan is exactly, but yeah, we should definitely keep an eye on them. They're maybe going to attempt a raid on Fax's territory. Okay, so this dense and plentiful wood line may not be plentiful enough for both Fax and 0AD Pot. They are both exploiting it currently, and they, I'm sure, are aware of each other's presence. As of right now, Zero AD Pot definitely has the advantage. First of all, Fax has 3 women, but he has 15 skirmishers versus a much more lethal combination of 27 skirmishers and 2 hoplites, which are hoplites, spearmen, or pikemen. Hoplites are spearmen. So yeah, that arrangement would that would not be a good engagement for Fax were he to attempt it. Interestingly, Guirre just has his war dog chilling out here in the corner of the map, not really doing much. Probably was scouting, but the war dogs are really not very effective as far as scouting goes. Okay, so we have our first rush. You could almost call this a rush or a skirmish. Guirre is in Fax's territory, got a couple kills, only skirmishers here, so he is valuing speed, being able to strike some blows and then swiftly get out of there, and he's doing a very good job of that. However, Fax is countering with a force that involves 10 spearmen, but yeah, Zero AD Pot is microing this in a very skillful way. He's not letting those spearmen catch up to his skirmishers to land any blows. He did for a moment, but he took them out. Let's see, 26 versus 17, so he would come out on top of that engagement if he just went for it. But Fax is running back, bringing more reinforcements. Now it's Fax's engagement. It favors Fax. And Fax has 45 kills, but he has lost 50. So Zero AD Pot is... Fax just evened the score a little bit with the last few seconds of that engagement where he brought in the reinforcements. But okay, very good move, very smart on Fax's part, building a defense tower. They're called stone towers now. All right, down here, Shinnik. Okay, so there have been 10 kills. Shinnik has lost 10 units to Guirre, and we missed it. And now Guirre has also built a tower, but just the smaller sentry tower. Okay, Fax has decided to go on the offensive for a moment. Got a couple more kills, I believe, and now he's putting a barracks, or he was beginning to put a barracks, but he saw this sentry tower going up. He was not having it. Pushing Zero AD Pot's fighters deep back into his territory. He did manage to get a sentry tower up, but it's kind of off the beaten path. Yeah, this wood line has become somewhat of a dead zone. However, not quite. This area is still relatively safe. And a stone tower is going up. I would have put it just a tad bit closer. I don't know if he's really going to be able to reach the far end of this wood line, but he will render most of this wood line useless to Guirre, although Guirre has pretty much done the same thing. All right, djesus has jumped to the fight to aid Zero AD Pot in his skirmishes against Fax, and between the two of them, let's see, 48 versus 63, but djesus is now retreating for whatever reason, very far away, to a point where it would take a while for them to kind of reach the front line. But Zero AD Pot is kind of enmeshing his troops with djesus, not quite enmeshing, but getting them a little bit closer. And djesus has decided to build an expansion very close to Fax's border. This is a full-on civic center going up right by this stone. He'll also take possession of this stone, this wood line, and possibly this metal mine. Fax has definitely been emboldened. He momentarily chased Zero AD Pot towards this stone tower, this defense tower rather, but turned around, and I think he's very good on wood. He actually could do with let's see, he has 9 farms, but he only has 24 women populating them, shockingly. And he's extremely low on food. He's at phase 2, but I don't. Okay, so he has almost fully populated farms down there, but he really needs to. He needs to train more women, or he definitely should take these 5 women off of wood and put them onto the farms. He needs to get these farms populated because he's doing very well in terms of wood. He's able to reinforce if he had the food income. Also, if I were him, I would. This is very easy, fast food. I would build a farmstead right over here. He could also then use that farmstead to, build farms around it. Okay, so now we have a stone tower going up, or about to go up, from djesus, but Fax was trying to deny it. He's not able to deny it, so now we have both a sentry tower and a stone tower just a mere few feet away from one another, making this area very, very tough for any battles that Fax wants to attempt to engage in. Yet another stone tower going up, and this sentry tower is getting upgraded. So this area is going to become extremely deadly very fast. With this level of concentration of towers, it would definitely be worth it for djesus to get some of the stone tower upgrades, and he has decided to do that. He's getting sentries, which I believe adds an extra arrow being fired. So I believe that kind of doubles the arrows coming out of there. I'm personally a huge fan of crenellations. They add 40% more arrows per each garrison soldier. So if you have 5, you have 9 arrows coming out being fired rather than just 5, plus the default arrows that you get from the tower even when nobody's inside of it. Despite all of this, Fax is staying just out of range of those towers, and he is putting up a very strong fight against Zero AD Pot. djesus is busying himself with other activities. I think he could really do well to just commit these units to defend Zero AD Pot's fighters, because right now Fax, I would almost say he has the advantage, but he should definitely he should probably have his storehouse right here, because then these units are extremely weakened right now. They have about 50% health, which means the second they get into any type of engagement, they're going to start dropping like flies. In the south, there have also been some skirmishes, it seems, between Shinnik and Guirre. Guirre is now building a fortress right on the border with Shinnik. So that is going to be an extremely useful defensive. He has this border extremely militarized. He has 2 defense towers right on the front line, which are almost fully populated. Although I believe, oh no, I'm getting mixed up with the Iberians. The Gauls towers can only hold 5, but he does have them upgraded as well. So yeah, I don't tend to utilize towers very much. Early on in my Zero AD playing, I played with more of a defense strategy, and I would spam out stone towers. I would fill them up and I would get all the upgrades. But nowadays I find that in most situations it's just more useful to have, rather than getting all of that stone. Oh no, Fax just lost his temple. Fax is coming out overall on top though when it comes to these skirmishes. Yeah, he has 92 kills, whereas Zero Depot only has 69. He has lost 77. djesus has killed 14 of Fax's people, but has lost 17. So Fax is doing a really good job fighting off 2 people at once. Meanwhile, I have been mostly, or pretty much completely, saved from having to do any of the fighting, which has allowed me to kind of flourish in the mid-game during Phase 2. I'm currently building up a shit ton of stables. I have the foundations laid for 7 of them so far. And I just finished my second civic center, moving out towards the center of the map, trying to take possession of as many metal mines as possible. I'm building another stable, so that makes 9. It really bugged me that I built this stable sideways when they're all facing forward. 9. And I also have a temple going down, which will hopefully be helpful to Fax because he did just lose a temple, but he seems to have rebuilt it. And now he is fighting off djesus, who is trying to encroach into his territory, but failing to do so. He just lost a bunch of units. And Fax is now up to 151 kills. Again, though, I just wish he would take these berries. I guess he has other things on his mind, though. Okay, so now we have a lot of fighting taking place between Guirre and Shinnik, or the potential for it. They have 2 really big armies that are kind of just playing footsie with each other right now. Guirre has managed to capture a tower. I hate it when that happens. Capture one of Shinnik's towers, but if he doesn't put somebody inside of it, he will lose it. But he did put somebody inside of it, luckily. So we have about 109 plus a hero versus 106 no hero. A little bit more than 106. He's taken a barracks, brought it down. Let's see what the unit composition is. Skirmishers and more spearmen. There's pikemen, spearmen, whatever. Then, yeah, much better troop balance. This is almost a perfect troop balance. 83 ranged units and 17 spearmen. Those spearmen, even though there's only 17 of them, they're capable of soaking up a massive amount of damage while the skirmishers and the slingers go to work, sending a flurry of pointy and or rocky objects flying over their heads. Yeah, he still kept those spearmen alive. Yeah, whereas this composition is, it's just poor because there's more spearmen than there are ranged units. So those spearmen, they can soak up a lot of damage, but they can't really inflict that much damage. We also now have a ram of Guirre's mucking about in Shinnik's territory, but he has at least momentarily retreated back to his own territory, probably because djesus has stepped in order to defend to defend Shinnik, and they now seem to outnumber Guirre pretty severely. Yes, they do. yeah, they're very much beating him back towards his territory. In the north, there has been a bit of a lull in the action. Fax has established a fortress very close to the front line, and he's now once again going in for the attack, this time with a ram, attempting to take down this tower, which he will almost definitely succeed in. He'll probably... okay, so 0AD pot destroyed the tower before Fax could take possession of it. Fax is about to murk these 22 skirmishers with skirmishers of his own in a much greater quantity, about double. Down here, Guirre is pushing into Shinnik's territory. It seems like djesus's units might have retreated. Not entirely sure why, possibly in order to defend defend 0AD pot against Fax. And now I have a very large mass of mercenaries, 20 macemen and 20 skirmishers coming to Guirre's aid, although I am a bit late to the party. He's already taken out the majority of Shinnik's units. Shinnik is only down to 75 now, so I am taking control of... I took a barracks and knocked it down, and now I am sending my mercenaries back because I noticed that djesus was sending a bunch of cav through my territory and attempting to use them to, attack Guirre's farms. Unfortunately, I could not chase them down with my mercenaries, so I sent them back somewhere. I do have a very large infrastructure of temples now in the center of the map. Where did my... okay, here are my mercenaries. So yeah, my mercenaries, I couldn't chase down the cavs, so they are just taking out Shinnik's territory, although realistically I probably should be in the north helping Fax. What's actually going on here? I don't really see any major fighting happening, but what I do see is Shinnik, who was robbed of his territory. He brought all of his women. Luckily, they managed to survive. Luckily for him, I guess. And yeah, these are all of his units right here, and they are sneaking around the back of djesus's territory. Not really sneaking because it's his ally, but I'm assuming they're looking for a spot to build another civic center, but there's really almost no territory on the entire map other than this area right here, which is sort of flooded with Guirre's troops. So now Guirre is moving north and meeting djesus in his own territory, where he is currently... I think he just killed my hero, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, I was fighting him with my mercenaries. That's what was happening. So he's taking out most of my mercenaries, but luckily Guirre came over to help. And Guirre's unit severely outnumbered djesus's, and he is taking them out. We are... and at this point, I am building up a large number of sword cav and sending them directly into the battle to help finish off Guirre. However, most of the troops that Guirre has here are actually spearmen, so my cav actually are not super useful in this situation. Although I did notice that he had some cav running by right here, so I decided to chase them down with my cav. Meanwhile, Guirre is taking buildings. He chased these women away who were farming. And my mercenaries are finishing off this champion cavalry. Now it looks like the only substantial enemy that we have left to take on is 0 AD Pot. There's been a very long lull in the fighting between Fax and 0 AD Pot. They both retreated to, I guess, build their eco up a little bit more, but that is most likely not going to last very long. It looks like it looks like Shinnik, who has a not completely insignificant amount of units left, but no buildings left, pretty much, is just using his units, to help djesus build up this fort close to the border with Facts. Yeah, most of his remaining units are women. He has about 10 skirmishers other than that. Right, so 4 champion cav were sent in to attack these stray rams of Fax, but Fax brought his large army out to quickly dispatch those cav. And I'm pretty much just following Guirre's lead with my cavalry. And I'm also now training champion axemen to come out of the array of temples that I have built in the center of the map. Yeah, this small space adjacent to 0 AD Pot's main base is the last remaining territory that djesus has significant control over. Although it is, the territory is linked with a lot of the buildings from his original territory, so he has retained possession of a lot of this farming infrastructure, a lot of these houses. This metal mine, they're all still kind of connected, despite the fact that he lost his initial civic center. But we are now closing in on that last little base that he has. I'm taking over his stables and taking control of his territory little by little, but I noticed that the main fighting was happening over here, so I sent my hero, my mercenaries, and my cavalry in to assist in taking over his second and last civic center. Meanwhile, Fact is using his rams to intrude into 0 AD Pot's territory. Zero AD Pot definitely put up a very strong fight during this game. He was definitely the MVP for Team 2. But at the end of the day, it was pretty much 3v 3v1. Although, interestingly, Shinnik did finally find a space to build another civic center due to the fact that djesus' territory got taken. But Guirre has found his new base and is taking him out with a very small group of units because he pretty much has nothing left but women. And Fax is moving deep into 0AD Pot's territory, going straight for the farms and dispatching his food eco, taking out all the women, confronted by a group of 16 pikemen, but he is pretty much able to, actually the 16 pikemen were able to take out most of his units that were there. But now I have a really huge group of cavalry coming in to take over and back that up. I always really run out of commentary and shit to say at this point this late in the game because yeah, when it's obvious who is going to win, I don't know, it's odd. It seems like anything that I say is kind of insignificant and redundant at this point. I really miss Jim Cogan, 0AD Newbie Rush, because he always had so much commentary to make on every single game that he watched. He was so good at summarizing things, at picking up on subtle nuances in everyone's strategy and in the gameplay, and just going through iterations of how the game went, and finding creative ways to describe the situation. And I really envy that quality, and I miss his channel very much. I wonder what he's doing. I wonder if he is still gaming, whether he's making videos about something else on some other channel. I really do have to send him an email. Jesus, this thing is dragging out, though, for the love of God. Zero-AD Pot really held out until the bitterest of ends during this game. Alright, let's hit the fast forward button. Temple getting taken over. It's so important to take your enemy's temple in a fight. It's definitely I would say it's the most valuable asset as far as buildings go. The most valuable asset that you can capture during a battle, because when you grab their temple, you're immediately getting all of your units surrounding it healed in the middle of their territory while you're fighting. And you could train priests from it as an afterthought, and they're right there, you know. They pop out in the middle of the battle, and if you have that surplus food. It's not something I've ever actually tried, training priests from are they called priests? Yeah, they are. Shinnik only has 5 units left. djesus has 0, but I guess he still has buildings, so he's technically still in the game. Jesus Christ. Zero AD Pot took so long to resign. I think we were like joking about it in the chat. He was like, I still have a fort. Civic Center. I was gonna say the Civic Center's about to go down, but he took out the Ram. Wow, that's a lot of Rams from Facts. I love the thumbnail for the Rams. Such a cool design. I love how they look like kind of grody and like thrown together. And there goes Shinnik and djesus. Oh my god, how long is this gonna go on? And down he goes. That was a very fun game. I was pretty much like spared from like the vast majority of the action. Interestingly, my score was like way higher than everybody else's. But I think it was mostly due to, very much due to economy. And I did get a lot of kills in at the very end. Let's see, military score. Yeah, you could see my kills just like skyrocket up in like the last few minutes of the game. But yeah, that was really fun. I always enjoy playing games with my friend Fax. Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz. Nice 0 ADing with you guys.